Hello, and welcome to our first Loadstone tutorial. Since some users have asked for video tutorials and they prefer to watch videos rather than read the FAQ, we'll do a little series of these things. So our first tutorial will be up on the Loadstone Pointshare. And for those of you who don't know what Pointshare is, it is the database of points that Loadstone has access to. And in Loadstone terminology, a point is basically any location on Earth. So, like a set of latitude and longitude coordinates is a point. And our Pointshare currently has about 4.5 billion points and 450 million streets and somewhere in the neighborhood of 27 million intersections. So, needless to say, there's a lot of data and it's worldwide. And the data from Pointshare includes data from OpenStreetMap and publicly available mapping sources, such a lot of cities now are doing open data, so we're pulling those sources in. And it also contains points that are generated by other Loadstone users. So today we're going to cover how to download points from this, because that's probably the first step that a new user will want to do after installing Loadstone, since it will be blank and it won't be able to tell them anything. So I have Loadstone open for the moment. So to go to Pointshare, we go to Databases.
Databases. Tab 2 of 4.
Right there. And then
exported points.
Nope.
Pointshare.
Pointshare.
Select Pointshare. Databases. Back button.
Okay, so then
Pointshare. Heading.
This will, and you'll need an internet connection to do the Pointshare because it's actually accessing the Pointshare website.
Main. Heading level 1.
Okay, so we're on the main page.
Get data by civic location. Link.
Get data by civic location. This is probably the easiest one to use. It allows you to basically select your country, your region, your province, whatever, and the various cities that you want to download data for. But the other option,
get data near a point,
is to get data near a point, which will by default put in your current location as a latitude and longitude, and you can select a radius around that point to download for. But the civic location is the one I'll cover today.
So. Get data by civic location. Ling. The Pointshare allows you to download points for a chosen region or city in a specific country. Select the country you want, and additional selection boxes will appear according to the divisions in the country. The first selection box contains the largest divisions into which the country is divided, for example, states, counties, boroughs, provinces, etc. Once a selection is made, a selection box containing cities within that division will be listed. You can select as many cities as you want by checking the boxes beside the city name. When you are done, press Next.
I couldn't have said that better myself, and I'm glad that Christy wrote that because I don't think I could have said that better myself. So we'll see, by default, what will happen here is your country and all that should be selected from your current location.
Canada. Pop-up button.
The country is Canada.
Double tap to activate the picker.
Right.
British Columbia, province. Pop-up button. Double tap to Greater Vancouver, regional district. Pop-up button.
All of that is right so far.
Double tap to activate the picker. And more, village. Checkbox. Unchecked.
Okay, so that's so now we're into the checkboxes of places we could check to download. I'm going to leave it at the default setting for now, but I'll go through a few of these.
Barnston Island 3, Indian Reserve. Checkbox. Unchecked. Bilkera, village. Bowen Island.
Okay,
Island.
Burnaby.
Capilano 5.
We're actually in New West, so there's a few down
City.
here.
Delta. District. Greater Vancouver A. Regional District. Catsy 1. Catsy. Langley. Line. Maple Ridge. Matsqui 4. Mission 1. Indian. Musqueam 2. Musqueam 4. Indian Reserve. New Westminster City. Checkbox. Checked.
Okay, so that's checked.
Double tap to toggle
setting. And you can see what you've selected for locations if you go by headings.
Selected locations. Heading level 2.
And right here it'll have
bullet. New Westminster, Greater Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada.
Okay. And so
bullet.
Above that,
selected next button.
So
clear.
You
button.
can either clear the selections if you don't like what it has selected and make new ones, or add to this list, or just
next
go to
button.
Next.
Next.
And the next should activate another page, which seems to have a habit of either talking or not, depending.
Download selected data. Heading level 1.
Yeah, and you're into the download selected data.
Get points. Heading level 2. File name. PS 201708070355556. Text field.
That's what the file name will be called when it comes from the Pointshare site, and you can name that a more user-friendly name if you wish to, or you can just leave it alone depending. Most people will probably just leave it as is.
Download button.
But we'll go to download. What I'll do is, since the download might be a time-consuming process, I'll do a download now and then explain the rest of the options on this screen. So I'll set it in motion.
Download. Downloading.
So we got a message that says downloading, and I'm going to be rewriting this process in the near future. So right now it's not as streamlined as I'd like it to be. But here's what we have to deal with now. So on the rest of this screen,
data source selection, heading level 2.
Data source selection.
Pointshare and OpenStreetMap.
Pointshare and OpenStreetMap data.
1 of 3.
That's what it's defaulted to normally. And
Pointshare only. Radio
Pointshare
button.
only, that
Unchecked.
would be
2 of 3.
data contributed by Loadstone users or from other public sources.
OpenStreetMap only. Radio button.
And
Unchecked.
that would be
3 of
data
3.
just from the OpenStreetMap sources, not from the OpenStreetMap servers, but from the Pointshare copy of that data.
Category selection. Heading level 2.
And here the category selection allows you to select categories of points that you may be interested in. Now it's probably better to download all categories and then filter on the phone if you want to, because it's probably better to have the data and not need it rather than need it and not have it at some point. Well, we got a beep there. That means that the download is actually proceeding, and there should be a beep every 10 seconds or so until it completes.
Addresses. Checkbox. Checked.
But here's the categories that are
Double tap to
available.
toggle setting. Agriculture. Checkbox. Checked. Amenities. Checkbox. Education. Checkbox. Emergency. Checkbox. Entertainment. Checkbox. Checked. Financial.
There are quite a
checkbox.
number of these
Checked.
categories.
Food. Checkbox. Government. Checkbox. Healthcare. Historic. Industrial. Infrastructure. Intersections. Leisure. Check. Military. Checkbox. Nature. Checkbox. Other. Checkbox. Places of worship. Points of interest. Public transportation. Residential. Services. Shops. Check. Tourism.
And
Check.
we're almost at the
Transportation.
end.
Water. Checkbox. Restrict output. Heading level 2.
The restrict output is for probably more advanced users, and most people won't have to deal with that, and that category probably won't exist in the rewrite, so that isn't going to matter so much. So depending on the amount of data that you select to download, the data can download in a few seconds or it might take a few minutes, and I'm really hoping that the City of New West data decides for this particular application to take, well, as little time as possible if that could be arranged. And yeah, unfortunately there's no way to tell how much data the server is going to send because it has to calculate that as it sends it.
As we wait, we'll
Yes.
remind you that questions and answers are on our FAQ page on our website, and the website is http://www.lodestone-gps.com.
Yes.
If a question is not there that you want answered, please email us. We're always happy to answer them.
Yes, and we'll be adding to the FAQ and the documentation as as questions come up. We'll add to the FAQ, and as Christy writes the documentation, which is not a small task, we will